lecture on male baldness, the current and future treatments.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation. We're going to be talking about male baldness, and this research is based on 196 publications, also 73 articles that I wrote, and my books, 4 books that have been published in 12 different languages. I have no conflicts of interest. Now, is male baldness even a problem, is the question. The men care about it, but most women, in my opinion, do not care about it. Some care, some don't. So male baldness there's a study that looks at male baldness and actually associates male baldness with social maturity, with wisdom, with nurturance, which is very important to women, and increased aggressiveness. So it might not even be a problem. That's sort of my idea here. So 80% of hereditary. Basically, genetics is on the top of that, and it has to do with the Ph.D hormone that shrinks the hair follicles. Now, are bald men more virile because Ph.D is basically associated to high testosterone and adrenaline? So does this mean that some women may view bald men even more attractive? So is that even better, basically? Why do we have to correct a problem that might not be a problem? But for people that do care about the male baldness, let's talk about that. What causes it? Malnutrition, genetic causes, thyroid, sickness, age, stress, high cortisol. Genetics, about 350 genetic variations of the AR gene, and the other speaker just spoke about it very eloquently, on the X chromosome. Polygenic, 250 gene variations from the mom only on the androgen receptor. That's the AR receptor that basically Ph.D connects to, and that's what testosterone is kind of suppresses. Now, andropause, that's it. You know, we talk about menopause, but we don't talk about andropause, how hormonal imbalance in men can create severe problems and disruption of their lives. So high cortisol can basically disrupt the hair growth on the cycle and reduce the nutrient in the follicles. Stress and high cortisol is also a big problem. Now here is the problem. When you are working out in the gym, cortisol and testosterone have a sort of a opposite relation. If the cortisol goes up, the testosterone goes down, which is a problem because we talk about how male baldness can be a systemic problem because it has to do with nutrition and genetics, and exercise and lifestyle can help, but then it can be the opposite result because cortisol and testosterone dynamics are following basically enduring exercise. And when the testosterone is low, then you have psychological effects of low confidence and loss of esteem. Nutritional issues are very important. Protein, iron, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin A, and E. So what we eat is very, very important. Normal testosterone basically creates higher zinc levels, so the testosterone associated with the diet and the nutrition, and there are negative correlations between total testosterone, copper levels, and low testosterone, high level of copper, plus elevated copper and zinc ratio in hair tissue. So basically, male baldness is a systemic issue. It's not one thing that we can change. It's hereditary, it's hormonal imbalance, it's nutrition. And I would like to introduce to a new technology. It's not new. It was started in 1950 by Foster, the Foster resonance energy transfer, that we've been kind of working with since 1986. with Jerry Pollock in London University. And we're working on resonance and how resonance is in connectivity, and sort of it can enhance the systemic issue, that if it's a systemic issue, that's kind of what's going to be enhancing. And this is the effects of resonance energy transform the cell. It actually transforms the cell, which is kind of very interesting and fascinating to watch under the microscope. It's a very high-powered microscope, of course, and this is what you see actually in real time under the microscope. Dramatic effects of resonance increasing cells, follicles, and also neuronal cells. And we looked at, now what we did is we asked different surgeons and different doctors to give us examples of their patients, how they treated with lasers, with radio frequency, monoxidil, and also the resonance technology. And we looked at Norwood scale, and it basically, the Norwood scale gives you, it's a class 1, class 2, class 7 is like completely bald. Basically, it's a scale that categorizes the baldness. And we had several study groups. Now, whatever the results in, I'm criticizing my own study because the sample was very small. And basically, the selection is a very important threat to internal validity. And obviously, they gave us their best patients. So there was no random selection kind of thing. So we had radio frequency alone, we had radio frequency in monoxidil, and radio frequency plus monoxidil and dutasteride, because basically you were adding up on the same subjects. And then we had laser along the same groups with monoxidil and dutasteride, and then we had the SRET, the resonance energy transfer, and alpha subjects. And basically you were looking at the laser subjects before and after, and also that's within subjects design, and you were also looking between the groups. That's the between subjects design, basically. All of these different kind of variations. The controls were 47 to 59. The subjects claimed well-balanced diet, but you never know with people because it's not like you can go and watch them. And the subjects also claimed a healthy lifestyle, but it depends what's healthy. And what we found is radio frequency in monoxidil was better than just radio frequency. Radio frequency plus monoxidil dutasteride was even better than just radio frequency. Same thing with lasers. A long laser was not as good as laser plus monoxidil. Laser monoxidil dutasteride was better than just laser alone. And then when you were looking at laser and radio frequency alone, results were a little better with a laser, but they were not statistically significant. You can see 0.26. That's not statistically significant. So it might say something, it might not. Laser monoxidil was slightly better than the radio frequency monoxidil. Of course, you would expect that because the technologies alone were not. And then laser dutasteride was better than just radio frequency dutasteride. Again, you would expect it. And then SRET resonance energy alone was better than radio frequency or laser alone. The 0.06, not that significant the result, but it was it's great past significance basically. But when you added monoxidil, then the results became even more weak. The significance became more weak between SRET and radio frequency and laser and monoxidil. And when you added dutasteride, then there was no significant, there was no statistical significance. So it seemed like the pharmacotherapy does work for hair, so that's what basically we were looking at. And also, SRET works, but also pharmacotherapy works very well. So the only good thing about SRET was the comfort, and basically had no side effects because it doesn't have side effects. And this is some of the examples. I could not get results from the laser and RF. They did not give me permission. So this is the results we got from the SRET group. And that's after the third treatment, fourth treatment. That's 4 treatments. That's only 2 treatments, but it was very short time, within 19 days. And this was a long-term result from 2017 to 2022. So we've been doing this study for a while. Now the criticism, again, very small sample, 4 people is not enough. And there's no duplication of the study yet that I know of. We have to do more studies, obviously. Selection is a problem with internal validity because they were giving us our best people, basically, so we're not, the sample was not random, so that's a problem. We did not do a blood test indicating pre-existing hormonal imbalances that could make a difference in subjects, and there was no standardized control on whether they were having a healthy lifestyle or they did not have a healthy lifestyle. And with this, I would like to end this presentation. Thank you so much for listening and watching. This is my WhatsApp and my email. If you do have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll answer any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, the last speaker for the session, I'd like to introduce Luciana Macedo.